Right now, while you are sitting here watching this video, something extraordinary is happening inside your head. Deep within your skull, billions of tiny electrical signals are moving through an intricate network of neurons. These signals are traveling across pathways that stretch through different regions of the brain, coordinating thoughts, sensations, memories, and actions. Your brain is regulating your breathing without you thinking about it. It is maintaining your balance so you remain upright. It is monitoring the temperature of your body, adjusting blood flow, and keeping your heart beating in a steady rhythm. All of this is happening automatically, and yet at the same time, your brain is doing something even more remarkable. It is creating the experience that you call reality, the colors you see, the sounds you hear, on the feeling of being present in a moment. All of these sensations are constructed by the brain. Most of us assume that what we experience is a direct reflection of the outside world, but the truth is far more fascinating. Your brain is constantly interpreting, predicting, and editing information before it reaches your awareness. In many ways, the reality you experience is not simply observed, it is carefully assembled. Consider the simple act of making a decision. When you choose something, whether it is what to eat for dinner or which direction to walk, it feels like the decision begins in your conscious mind. You experience the thought, you weigh the options, and then you act. But scientific experiments have revealed something unexpected. When researchers monitor brain activity during simple choices, they often observe patterns of neural activity that appear before the person becomes consciously aware of deciding. The brain has already begun preparing the action. Your conscious awareness of the decision appears slightly later. This does not mean that we lack free will, but it suggests that the brain begins processing choices at deeper levels before the thought enters conscious awareness. Your mind is like a vast system running beneath the surface of your thoughts. By the time an idea appears in your awareness, many layers of neural activity have already taken place. Another remarkable feature of the brain is how it filters the world around you. At every moment, your senses are collecting enormous amounts of information. Light waves enter your eyes and strike the retina. Sound vibrations reach the tiny bones of your ears. Pressure sensors in your skin detect touch, temperature, and movement. Your nose detects chemical signals floating through the air. Each of these systems sends information toward the brain, but the brain cannot process everything equally. If it tried, the sheer volume of sensory input would overwhelm your ability to focus. So instead, the brain acts as a filter. It selects only certain pieces of information to bring into your awareness. Movement often receives priority because moving objects may signal danger or opportunity. Faces attract attention because recognizing other humans has always been essential for survival. Sudden changes in sound or light also draw your attention quickly. Everything else fades quietly into the background. This means that the reality you experience is not the complete environment around you. It is a simplified version shaped by what the brain decides is important. Even your vision, the sense we rely on the most, is not as straightforward as it seems. Inside each of your eyes is a small region where the optic nerve exits the retina. This area contains no photoreceptor cells. In other words, it cannot detect light. Technically, there is a tiny gap in your visual field where no visual information exists. Yet you never see a missing piece in the world around you. Your brain automatically fills that gap with information based on surrounding colors and shapes. It predicts what should be there and inserts it seamlessly into the visual image. This happens constantly, and it happens so smoothly that the edited picture feels perfectly natural. Your brain is continuously reconstructing the visual world you believe you are seeing. Time itself can also feel surprisingly flexible depending on how your brain processes events. Many people have experienced moments where time seems to slow down. This often happens during intense situations such as accidents, sudden danger, or moments of extreme concentration. People describe these moments as if everything suddenly moves in slow motion, but time itself has not changed. Instead, the brain enters a heightened state of alertness. Your senses become more sensitive, and your brain begins capturing more information than usual. More details are recorded in memory. Later, when you remember the event, that memory contains far more information than a normal moment. Because of this extra detail, the experience feels longer when you recall it. In reality, time remained exactly the same. Your brain simply processed the moment differently. Sleep offers another fascinating example of how active the brain really is. When we sleep, our bodies appear still and quiet, but inside the brain, activity continues. During certain stages of sleep, especially the phase known as REM sleep, brain activity becomes incredibly intense. Neural patterns during REM sleep can sometimes resemble the activity seen when a person is awake. During this time, the brain is replaying experiences from the day, memories are reorganized and stored, connections between neurons are strengthened. Dreams occur during this stage, and although they often feel strange or unpredictable, many scientists believe they serve an important function. Some researchers think dreams allow the brain to simulate scenarios. See, in dreams, the brain may practice responding to threats, navigating social interactions, or exploring emotional situations. Even though your body is resting, your mind may be rehearsing experiences for the future. Pain provides another powerful example of how the brain shapes our experiences. When we think about pain, we often imagine it coming directly from the body. A cut on the skin sends pain signals through nerves. A burn produces immediate discomfort. But pain is not simply a signal from the body. It is an experience created by the brain. Signals from injured tissue travel through the nervous system until they reach the brain, where they are interpreted. Without the brain's interpretation, those signals would not produce the feeling of pain. In some cases, the brain can produce pain even when the physical cause is no longer present. One striking example of this is phantom limb sensation. People who have lost an arm or leg sometimes continue to feel sensations in the missing limb. They may feel pressure, warmth, or even pain. This occurs because the brain maintains an internal map of the body. Even when the physical limb is gone, the neural representation of that limb may remain active. The brain still believes that part of the body exists. The experience of pain continues because the brain is generating it internally. Another remarkable feature of the brain is its ability to predict the future. Every movement you make relies on this predictive ability. When you walk down a staircase, your brain calculates the position of each step before your foot touches it. When you catch a ball, your brain predicts its path through the air. Without prediction, your movements would feel slow and clumsy. Instead of reacting after something happens, the brain anticipates what will happen next. Scientists refer to this as predictive processing. Your brain constantly builds models of the world and updates them with new information. These predictions allow you to move smoothly through your environment. In many ways, your brain is always simulating the future. Perhaps one of the most extraordinary abilities of the brain is its capacity to change itself. For many years, scientists believed that the adult brain was mostly fixed. It was thought that once the brain developed, its structure remained largely unchanged. But research has revealed that the brain remains highly adaptable throughout life. This ability is known as neuroplasticity. Whenever you learn a new skill or experience something unfamiliar, connections between neurons begin to change. Certain pathways strengthen as they are used repeatedly. Others weaken and fade away. Over time, these changes reshape the networks inside your brain. Your habits, experiences, and learning gradually sculpt the structure of your mind. The brain you have today is not exactly the same as the brain you had years ago. It is constantly evolving in response to the way you live. Even the way the brain recognizes other people reveals something about how human perception evolved. Humans are exceptionally skilled at recognizing faces. The brain contains a specialized region devoted almost entirely to facial recognition. This area activates almost instantly when a face appears in your visual field. It works so efficiently that it sometimes identifies faces where none actually exist. People frequently see faces in clouds, rock formations, and everyday objects. This phenomenon occurs because the brain is strongly tuned to detect other humans. For most of human history, recognizing another person quickly could mean the difference between safety and danger. Energy use in the brain also highlights just how demanding these processes are. Although the brain represents only a small percentage of the body's weight, it consumes a significant portion of the body's energy. Roughly 20% of the body's energy supply supports brain activity. Neurons require a constant flow of oxygen and glucose to maintain electrical signals and chemical balances. Even when you feel like you are resting or doing nothing, billions of neurons are active. Your brain never truly shuts down. Thinking, remembering, imagining, and learning all require energy. When we consider all of these processes together, the human brain begins to appear even more extraordinary. Inside a space small enough to fit within your skull exists one of the most complex systems known in the universe. Approximately 86 billion neurons are connected through trillions of synapses. Together, they generate your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, and your sense of identity. Most of this activity unfolds silently beneath your awareness. You rarely notice the countless processes shaping your perception of reality. Yet they are happening every moment of your life. Your brain predicts what will happen next. It edits the images you see, it filters the sounds you hear, it rewrites memories over time. And it constantly reshapes itself through experience. Perhaps the most fascinating fact of all is that the brain is the only object in the universe capable of studying itself. Every discovery scientists make reveals another layer of mystery, which means our understanding of the human mind is still only beginning, and the brain you are using right now to listen to these words is the very thing we are still trying to understand.